Well, hello there! So tonight is Super Bowl night, the moment in which thousands of families gather around their TV screens, waving their flags and cheering on their football champions. But you are not particularly interested in all of this. As a matter of fact, you are desperately looking for something else to watch. Well, that is exactly what I'm here for, with a ton of different options ranging from actually going out of the house to staying inside, because after all, those hot dogs your dad made sure look good. So let's start from the first option, which means actually leaving the house for the evening. Even if you're not engaged in all the Super Bowl excitement, you must admit that the celebrations actually have one particularly positive outcome. There is nobody out and about. So if you plan on going to the cinema, you are a winner, because it will be totally empty and you can crunch your popcorn and slurp your Pepsi as loud as you like. If you're looking for some colourful, fast-paced action, there are so many options which range from Aquaman to Bumblebee. I would particularly recommend watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, an interesting and innovative take on the Spider-Man saga with a stunning animation and a voice cast which ranges from Chris Pine to Nicolas Cage. If instead you're looking for something a little more edgy and scary, make sure to bring along a friend to grab onto during the film, and don't worry, you can scream out loud as the theatre will be empty, and maybe you could watch Glass, the third chapter in the Unbreakable and Split saga. Also, on the basis of nobody being at the cinema, you could sing out loud to the soundtrack to Bohemian Rhapsody, the new film about world-famous rock band Queen. But no, this time you want your time spent not watching the Super Bowl to be worthwhile. You don't want to watch films such as Slender Man or I Feel Pretty. You want to return home proud of what you've seen, showing your cousins that now you own a piece of an Oscar-worthy movie. In that case, you are lucky. There are many options out there because the Oscar awarding ceremony is less than a month away. I would recommend watching Green Book, a movie whose advertisement didn't exactly attract the crowds, but which is absolutely fantastic. It will have you laughing out loud in one scene and then crying your eyes out in the next. It stars Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, who are both now nominated for Oscars for Best Actors. Another good choice is Black Klansman, starring Adam Driver and John David Washington as police officers who infiltrate the KKK. But let's suppose you are snowed in and those hot dogs your dad made are now looking extra good. Let's look at some options you could access without leaving the comfort of your house. Netflix is the place you should run to, with all sorts of new releases now available. Again, if you want to be extra fancy, you could watch the black and white film Roma, about the hardships of a housemaid in Mexico City during the 70s. If it is hard to keep up with this Oscar-worthy hit because of your uncle belting out encouragement chants in the room right next to you, you might want to stick to something a little less sumptuous. A good choice could be Black Mirror's latest hit, Bandersnatch, an interactive film in which you can pick the character's next steps and so also the outcome of the story. This means you could be in the Super Bowl dedicated room plugged into your headphones. You could also order in some extra food, because another perk of the Super Bowl is that many companies are offering extra special discounts. If Bandersnatch is not mind-boggling enough, then I would recommend Maniac, starring Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, who entered a warped world in which they are simultaneously con artists in the 40s, a married couple in the 80s, an elf princess, a Russian mobster. But if nothing I have offered tickles your fancy, I will leave in the description box below a series of videos in which I speak of really good films that are hardly ever spoken about, such as the one with Jake Gyllenhaal as a vlogging policeman, or the Tumblr-worthy one set in Wales with the soundtrack by the singer of Arctic Monkeys, or the one in which this Marvel character gets in trouble in Berlin in the 80s. But in general, whatever you choose to do tonight, whether it is watching the Super Bowl or something else, I just wish you a great time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you soon. Bye.